Hi, my name is Mridul, and I'm going to present this research paper called Hierarchical Quality Diversity for Online Damage Recovery. This paper was written by Maxim Allard, Simon C. Smith, Konstantinos Chatziligirdis, and Antoni Kali. Now, to give you an introduction about what we are going to discuss in this hierarchical quality diversity algorithm, let's have a look at a robot whose name is EC. EC performs some complex tasks such as navigation or some other complex task, which we are not going to discuss about because navigation is the one that it was discussed in the research paper. Now, performing navigation, it can have a lot of damages during its path of course, and that could be due to obstacles, friction, or high resistance. And let's have a look about the damages because we are going to study about how to recover from these damages. So let's take a look over the consequences of a particular damage. So there may be a physical damage due to bird or something hit on you, or let's say an attack. So the consequences could be parts damage. It could lose a limb. So could have just one leg on its way. So that is one of the consequences. There would be change of friction coefficient. That means there might be a motor failure if the leg got stuck, or there might be a jerky walk, or the robot could slip as well. Third is obstacle, which could again result in collision, which again comes up as physical damage. Now, what's the motivation behind coming up with this hierarchical algorithm? We certainly have algorithms such as RTE, which is called Reset Free Trial and Error Algorithm, and an ITE, which is called Intelligent Trial and Error Algorithm. RTE has diverse set of skills, but lacks in finding different modified ways for doing them. For an example, let's say a robot wants to walk straight and wants to walk slant. It has to have two set of skills. Whereas in ITE, if the robot knows how to go straight, it would modify this going straight into going slant as well because it's intelligent and it has different ways of executing a particular skill. So this is the difference between both of them. Now, this is also a motivation because we want both set of algorithms into one because we need both of them. So do we need a family of algorithms that consists of RTE, IT, and other set of algorithms which we are required? Yes, we do need them. This is known as quality diversity algorithm, as we discussed in the beginning or in the name of the research paper. It's also known as hierarchical trial and error algorithm. In this, in different layers on in different hierarchies are different set of algorithms are located and they communicate with each other to command, in this case, the motors of the robot leg. So the motors that control the XY displacement and Z displacement. Second, as said, it has intelligent error-free algorithm. That means it can overcome a situation. It would have different ways of modifying your skill that it can overcome all the unforeseen circumstances as well. That means it is one of the good uh, points for this algorithm as well. Now, thirdly, if we have large behavioral diversity, if we have large number of ways, large number of skills, that means we have more number of ways to modify them and hence more number of solutions. So hence, behavioral diversity is directly proportional to number of solutions. Lastly, in the experiment conducted during this research paper, it was noted that actions performed by the robot was drastically reduced to 20% by 20%, and chances of failure of robot while doing a navigation or maze were reduced by further 57%. So that means, yes, this is a way to go. Now, to understand, to increase the number of solutions, we need to have more behavioral diversity. That means we need to have more number of skills. Now, to understand that, let's take a look at the layers in this case. Um, yeah. So the bottom layer, it controls three legs or the three motors that of a leg of a robot, while the middle layer controls have some other dependent variables that communicate with the bottom layer to control or tell, hold on, hang on, I'll tell you what to do or where to go. If you have a stone in your way, I'll tell you what to do. The top layer, it controls the walk for another 3 seconds, noting what's the actual displacement of the robot, and tells, okay, if you're not up to the situation you were supposed to in, or the ideal situation or ideal displacement you were supposed to win, I'll tell you where to go. So that means they are all communicating with each other, and hence in the bottom layer, the robot performs the task. This is how the layers or hierarchy works. And behavioral descriptors such as all the variables or dimensions in the middle layer and top layer, if they're increased, we have more number of set of skills, we have more number of ways to modify a particular set of skill. Now, this is one way, but does it have any negatives or positives? Yes. If we have dimensions in the bottom layer, that is more number of motors to come up with different set of skills, it would have a lot of selection pressure. We would not be able to identify which one to use, because they're all different set of skills and it might not be suitable for a particular situation. Hence, we need a larger memory at the bottom layer as well. That means which will also result in exponential growth of solutions. Obviously, if we have more set of solutions in the bottom layer, both more number of variables in the bottom layer, that means we have different set of skills, but that not might be suitable for that particular situation, and hence we need a larger memory there as well. To overcome this, we can add behavioral dimensions or dependent variables in the upper layer, which will lower the memory consumption and also perform same solutions by just like optimizing our memory consumption. So basically, it will tell you how to modify the previous set of skill, but giving up the same solution. This is one way to go to increase number of set of skills. Now, is hierarchical trial and error algorithm, also known as quality diversity algorithm, better at adaptability? Yes. In all scenarios during the experiment, it performed better than other variants, both in known damages and secondary damages. This is known as predetermined damages. So we would always predetermine there might be an obstacle that did a damage. There might be friction, as we discussed, that could do the damage, or the robot might fall or lose a leg. Whereas secondary damages would be there might be a bird flying up, which we don't know, which the robot didn't knew, or there was a little malfunction. So it could also deal with secondary damages as well, and it was better at doing that. And hence, yes, it is better at adaptability, all because of experimental claims. Now, what was my takeaway from this? It was quality and diversity. If we have diverse set of skills and quality in terms of how are we able to modify those particular set of skills for our suitability or robot suitability for tasks such as maze or navigation, we need to have them. Next is optimization. We have to lower our memory consumption and still provide same set of solutions, which could be done by adding dimensions in the top layers as we discussed. Next is known situations. We should be knowing, or we should always predetermine the damages that could be done, because we can add a particular skill and robot would not have to like uh, communicate with different layers to come up with or deal with an foreseen circumstance. Obviously, it should know how to do it, but we should always beforehand know about these damages. Next is damage recovery. Even if these damages happen, we should know a set of skill, or even if we don't know those damages, we should know the set of skills or modifications to do to recover from that damage and still do our task. And lastly, it's about adaptability. It sums up everything. It should have quality and diversity, diverse set of skills or recovery systems from those damages to be adaptable to a situation, to still able to do all the tasks. So these were my takeaway from this research paper, and I liked it or enjoyed it very much. That is all from me today. Thank you so much.